Don't settle for fakes. My dual-taining is the real deal.
Hey everyone, it's mekklord, and today I want to talk about the Rush Duel meta. Even though the game has been out for like less than 48 hours at this point, we have a pretty clear idea of what the best cards are and henceforth what the best decks are, which is helped in no small part by the fact that the game has a very limited card pool. Also, yeah, I'm wearing glasses now. This is new for me as well, and weird. I picked them up today, and maybe I'll finally start reading some cards now that I have actual glasses on. So first and foremost, and even though he's not at first position, make no mistake, Multistrike Dragon Dragias is the best card in Rush Duels at the moment. It has the highest attack you can have in the game, which is 2500, and it is able to sometimes even close out games on its own with its ability to attack twice, which is non-negligible in a very aggressive and combat-centric format. Basically, this entire format is defined by level 7 or higher monsters, and Dragias is just the best of them. Seven Sword Magician, also a pretty good card. It compensates for having lower attack by the ability to grow to staggering amounts of attack. It's just an excellent all-around card, and also really good level 7 that you can, just like Dragias, put in pretty much every deck and call it a day, because the best thing you can be playing at the moment is just level 7 beatdown turbo. I'm looking for all the level 7 monsters on this list, and there aren't actually too many. I say level 7, I should say 2 tribute monsters, because I'm not mistaken, some of these are level 8. Like Yamiruler, the Dark Layer. It's also a really strong monster. 2500 attack and defense make it also able to act as a defensive option if you're going first. Like, going first, this card is absolutely insane. The reason this doesn't see more play, in my opinion, is, well, you don't always go first, and even if you do go first, you don't always open this card. So even though you theoretically have the ability to look out your opponents out of a turn, thanks to Yamiruler, and then clean them up on the follow-up turn, this doesn't happen nearly as often as you'd like. Also, it is limited 3, which means it competes with Dragias for spots in your deck, and Dragias is just better in like 99% of cases. I do think that Yamiruler and all the warrior stuff, including Kimeruler, which you should also consider because it's a 2500 attack monster, are going to get better as more warrior support is added into the game. I think there's already the warrior spell that allows you to change the battle position of a warrior to, I think it's only from attack to defense to draw a card. This is a good card, but there's just not enough yet for the warrior deck to be really amazing just yet. Maybe once we get better back row that you want to draw into, or a more diverse array of monsters, this becomes the next toughest deck to beat. I'm a bit surprised to find it so low on the list, especially considering they both come from a 3-structure deck, but Lightning Voltcondor and Dragonic Crested are basically the pillars of the Winged Beast / Anti-Light deck, are also really good options due to their ability to, well, basically boost themselves or lower opponent monsters when faced with exactly Dragias, but also thanks to the scale, you can turn anything into a light, so basically ensuring that these are always live. They're both really good cards, and of course, just pick the free copy of the structure deck. Like, it'd be silly not to. But I don't know why this doesn't see more play. Maybe it's missing a little something. Maybe it's the fact that it pushes you into a deck with a dedicated skill that prevents you from playing Dragias, even though you can play Savage Road. But these cards, I think, are a bit underestimated at the moment. Are probably bound to see more plays, specifically because they're just really good against Dragias and just pretty decent in general. Going back to the top of the list, we unsurprisingly have Dark Sorcerer being the most played low-level monster in the game. It's a 1500 attack monster, which is the highest level 4 lower gets in the game, other than Legends that we don't have yet. It's a spellcaster, so it works with the suite of spellcaster support that people seem to enjoy. Mystic Dealer is an absolutely insane card. Recovery Force is decent. Not all that great though, but it's still a decent card. And Dark Sorcerer is just an all-around excellent, you know, either tribute fodder or beater on its own. Thunder the Thunder, also a really good card. It's basically a 1600 attack monster, because You can reduce the attack of an opponent's monster by 300, so you can beat over it, which is actually pretty useful. Comes in very often, and also allows you to like get rid of awkward mirror matches like Dragias turning down a Dragias, so you don't have to crash anymore. As for all the level 4s being played, like the suit of, you know, because we already have a very complete list of level 4 monster with 1500 attack, I'm not surprised to see Gazelle and being more played than Dragorite and Silent Assailants exactly, because, and even though I don't think it's a good card at the moment, people are still playing Phantom Bind, which it makes sense because like it's the least bad trap we have access to at the moment. It is a battle trick that punishes you for playing monotype decks, I don't know if that makes sense. And if you're playing Gazelle, well, you know, that's one less dragon in your graveyard that's going to reduce Dragias' attack. That's one less spellcaster to reduce 700's attack. So it makes sense that Gazelle would see play. Fire Golem probably sees play because it's one of the least bad spellcasters. Torna is also a card that doesn't see as much play as I think it would otherwise because it conflicts with Dragias, but make no mistake, it's still a really good card. And Doriado is just there because it's a spellcaster, so it's nothing interesting that they would use this artwork of Hammer Crush, even though Hammer Crush with this artwork is not in the game. But yeah, Hammer Crush doesn't really see all that much play at the moment because, let's face it, it's not like there's a lot of back row to get rid of. The caveat to this, of course, is the fact that there is a skill that allows you to set Hammer Crush to draw a card, which it's just a 3+1, so if you're not playing another skill, why would you not play this? And it's probably the, I don't know, the second best generic skill. The first best generic skill, of course, being the one that gets you a legend as one of your draws for this turn. And what better legend to have than Summon's Call? 2500, so it, you know, contests Dragias and stuff, but it only takes one tribute. And it's a fiend, there's like no playable fiend, so it doesn't really fear Phantom Bind either. There's no reason to not play Summon's Call if you have him. Dark Magician still sees plays because it's a free, you know, it's a free drop, but the only reason you'd play Dark Magician over Summon's Call is if you're playing like 3 copies of Dark Magician Girl, which basically act as potential 2,500 attack beaters on their own. And if you're playing a strong spellcaster suit to like cycle your Dark Magician with Mr. Dealer maybe, or just, you know, use the fact that spellcaster are the most supported type in this very limited game at the moment. It's probably one more interesting deck worth talking about, and it's the Dragon stuff with Dragonic Resonance as a skill. Gravity Press Dragon and Striker Dragon are like the 2 most important cards in this deck, not named Dragias. And they're not seeing all that much play. I think it's kind of a decent deck. The idea is you're able to boost your dragon's attack by 500 pretty much every turn, but you're only playing dragons, so this cuts you from playing 7th Road, this cuts you from playing Torna, this cuts you from playing the Voltcondor stuff. And then that many good dragons, like the Sportsdragon duo is okay-ish if you're running out of options, which is to say if you're losing, which considering you're playing pure dragons might be often. And Dragonic Pressure, like, looks really good on paper, but it's kind of a hefty cost. I think this card still has potential specifically for this deck, but I wouldn't go out of my way to like get 3 copies of Dragonic Slayer and 3 copies of Press Dragon and 3 copies of Dragonic Pressure, although it is exactly what I'm doing because I'm an idiot, but you should be better than me. And last but not least, the Psychic stuff. So Prima Guitarna is a card that sees plays on her own because it's just one of these cards that is able to boost itself to beat over Dragias. Like, it starts at 2200 against 300 attack if your opponent only controls Dragias, so it can crash at the very least. And if they control more monster, well, they can just beat over them. So already a pretty good card on their own, but also Psychics have access to a couple of decent cards on their own. The 1 copy of Romantic that we have is a small but useful consistency boosting option. They have a Battle Trap, which is also kind of cool. This is one of the like the second most playable trap in the game at the moment, which unfortunately still isn't saying much. They have a generic 2000 beta, which is decent with the battle trap. That means you can potentially challenge stuff like Dragias, but you're still not getting over stuff like 7's Road and beaters that grow to larger amounts. And yeah, they have their own 1500 attack, so this should add up to a deck that sees a lot more play, but it doesn't yet. And I'm gonna keep saying this, but the more support psychics have in this game, the better. Long story short, the best thing you can be playing at the moment is a very aggro deck with like 3 copies of Dragias, 3 copies of 7's Road, Summon Skull, and then nothing but like 1500 attack beaters with like tangent spellcaster support, so you can draw into Dragias or 7's Road faster. But there's still like a couple of other decks you could be exploring, namely the Psychic deck, which I think is okay-ish, the Dragon deck, which actually topped a couple of like recent tourneys, so it must not be all that bad, and the Voltcondor deck, which is like the obvious easiest deck to build. I think like if you're getting the free copy and paying 500 gems for another copy of the deck, you already have a pretty decent competitive strategies, which you can finish by unfortunately buying the third structure deck, or just spending a couple of gems, maybe your 3 packs into the main box, and hope that you pull, I don't know, 7's Road as your prismatic and a couple of like spellcaster support cards. So yeah, this is Rush Duels at the moment. There's not much else to say. I'm kind of looking forward to where the format will go, especially once more characters drop. I don't think the incoming Aqua stuff will change a lot about the format at the moment, but future releases are certainly bound to do something. Like the day we get a 2600 attack beta, I think Dragias will plummet in popularity. This being said, it's still a pretty like decent card, so it's not as good as 7's Road in the longer run though. So anyway, that's it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching it and not just watching my face with glasses the entire time. Take care, and I'll see you guys and gals in Non-Binary Pals next time.